I'm trying a new um, platform. I'm hoping it works and that I will be able to invite a select few to come on into where I'm recording this from in order to um, join in on the live in a different way. So let's see how it works. I hope this catches up with you, and I hope that you find it interesting and fun. Please know that you're um, on a public live and that you can be seen in a public way. And so I want you to look at the post down below on Facebook and make sure that you're understanding. It may take a few minutes for us to get to the comments. And like I said, I'm on a new platform, so I'm not necessarily seeing this at the same time because it's uploading and streaming to two places, which is here on Facebook, The War at Home, If Only Someone Knew. I'm hoping it's leading over to Guardian's War Cry, as well as our YouTube channel um, that I started with Sam Beckinsale. Sam and I do have some extra things coming on in the next couple of weeks, and we're excited about that and getting those up and running for everyone to hopefully get a better understanding about what coercive control and domestic violence looks like, and also some tools to help you figure out how to manage your life in a different way that honors who you are. And so today's topic is going to be about self care. It's going to be mainly about trying to get an understanding for you as to coming into your own skin and being comfortable with who you are just as you are, and understanding that we don't need to be any different than that. So I'm hoping that you all are getting this. I can see it kind of streaming in Facebook because I have it kind of on there. So it is streaming there, but I think there is a slight delay. So the first uh, quote that I want to hit today is: you must develop the ability to be disliked in order to free yourself from the prison of other people's opinions. That is by Mark Manson. And I thought that this was a great quote in understanding that what we say to ourselves is probably the best guide on how our life is unfolding in front of us, because our thoughts are things, as Wayne Dyer used to say. And so knowing that if you have a certain thought going a certain way, change your thoughts and you can change your life in understanding how the opinions of others are coming in, how your own opinions are coming in, and changing the thought process of who you are. Because you know me, I'm always trying to drive this idea of compassion for self, of self awareness kind of stuff in um, our times where we're trying to heal or leave abusive kind of relationships, whether they're in the family that we grew up in or in relationships at work. And so I think it's important to understand um, this is how you free yourself from those opinions of others. You start giving your opinions to yourself. You start understanding, well, what do I think about what it is that's being said to me? Does it have any um, value to me, or is it oppressive to who I am? Because if it's oppressive, I think you need to look at it. And if it's demeaning, I think you need to look at it, belittling the things that abusers do. I had a quote that I wrote, which is, we give meaning to words. So because of those words, you take them into your heart. And because some speak with drips of venom on their tongue, they affect you in a negative way. And I think that you have to decide that that is not how this is going to take for you, and not do that to yourself, because that's in that whole talk that I talk about. We have to love ourselves just a little bit more, because we understand our failings, hopefully, and we understand that we're not perfect, because nobody is. And so sometimes we're too hard on ourselves, and we listen more to other people than we listen to ourselves. So that's part of that whole idea of getting more comfortable within the skin that you're in. And I think thirdly, I hit the Mad Hatter said to Alice, he said, "You are lost in your muchness, or you lost your muchness. You used to be much, mucher." And I think if you're not feeling that you're very much, to understand that you may have lost your muchness, but that doesn't mean that you're not of value. Because I think that if you're here, you are of value. There is a reason you're here. So I hope my words help you. I'm also thinking about the words of Maya Angelou, who said, "You are only free when you realize you belong no place, every place, and no place. The price is high, but the reward is great." And I think that's important, because who you really belong to is yourself. What words are you telling? How compassionate are you being to yourself? How hard are you being on yourself? Are you listening to other people more than you're listening to yourself? Because I think that's the only way we get in close to who we are. It's like that prison I began with at the beginning with Mark Manson. He says, in order to free yourself from that prison of other people's opinions, you have to decide it's okay to be disliked. And I think I'll leave you with this idea of Case Kinney. Case Kinney says the most powerful person is someone who decides their self-worth is not a group decision. It's an inside job, that wisdom that we come to know, that muchness that the Mad Hatter was talking about. And I also think that the words of, I'm not sure who wrote this. I wish I knew, and maybe I can figure it out at some point. But it's about a girl who falls, and a fall that no one saw coming. And just like that, she was behind in that race that she was running. But what nobody talks about is the fall. About the fall is not about failure. The real win is getting back up when you're last. You see, I was a late bloomer, and I felt like I wasn't accomplishing anything. But actually, what I was learning is what this gal talks about. She says, each lap she learns, each push she builds, each breath she grows. And while others, I lost my thing. While others coast, she sharpens her aim. Because falling teaches something finishing never will: resilience. You get knocked down 8 times, you get back up. You're resilient. You don't have vision, you wait for that vision to come, and you get back up and you keep going, and you have a hunger I have a curiosity. I want to live life, and I want others not to feel like I felt for so long before I started to come in to who I was. You see, I stumbled to rewire. And like she says in this poem, she no longer's chasing, she's choosing her pace. Sorry. And just like that, she's catching up and she's taking over. That part of that taking over is about taking over your own life, deciding whether or not you're going to listen to the prison that other people try to put you in with their opinions, or they try to give you their venom so it reeks inside of you. It is up to you to take care of that. It is up to you to offer that compassion. Once you start offering yourself that compassion and you start looking at how you felt like you were treated, then you can be more compassionate. You have more compassion um, for others because you felt what it was like to feel like you were nothing. So I hope my words help you. I hope that you can come away from this video with a little bit better sense of I have the right to be here. I have the right for my voice to be heard and my life to be the life that I choose it to be. Because true belonging doesn't require you to change who you are, it requires you to be who you are. Those are the words of Brene Brown. Take care. Understand that you are most loved and cared for. Bye bye.